I have a question for you guys, man. How was it, or how is it still, riding on the street? Do you have trouble riding on the street? Are you scared to ride out on the street? What's up, you guys? It's been a while. I haven't recorded a video in about a week, or put a video out in about a week, so it's about that time. So quick question for the new riders: how many of you are scared to ride on the street? And I'm talking about the street, like the neighborhood and the streets with all the stop signs and the stoplights, not the freeway. I'm talking about the streets. For me, the freeway wasn't that big of a deal. When I first started riding, the streets were more sketchy. I wasn't afraid to do it, but they were more sketchy. There's more stops, meaning more times you have to shift all the way down in the first. You have more of a chance of stalling, especially if you're new to riding. You don't know your bike, you don't know your friction zone with your clutch, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So how many of you were afraid to ride on the street? So my next question is going to be, how many of you are still afraid to ride on the street? You know what I'm saying? Do you have trouble making specific turns, such as left turns, right turns from complete stops? Are you able to roll through those turns with ease? These are just things that you need to practice. You know, if you have a neighborhood around where you live, you know, such as I do, it's a small little neighborhood, nothing too big, you know, but you don't have to worry about going out into the actual streets yet. And it makes it a lot more easier for you to get comfortable. So if you have a neighborhood in the surrounding area that you live, take advantage of it. Just be wary of all the driveways and all the street parking where people can just pull out right in front of you. You know, keep your eyes open, keep your eyes appealed, you know, to everything that's going on around you. Kids running around in the street, you know, time of day, they might be in school, they might be home playing. I know when I was a kid, I was out on the street playing. I wasn't indoors like these kids today, stuck on their computers and phones and tablets and shit. So my advice for you guys, if you're brand new and you're scared of the streets, see, I'm kind of on a busy road right now, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get back off of it. I'm gonna go back into the neighborhood, which is something that some of you guys should do if you're still new to riding. You know what I'm saying? Practice in your little neighborhoods before you jump out into the big streets. You know, just get a little feel for it, cruise around a little bit. You got a little right hand turn coming up, let's take it, let's slow down, and then let's go into it. Okay, like I said, you want to pay attention to everything that's going on around you. These cars, some of them might be pulling out, some of them might be coming out of the driveway, not paying attention. They could have just gotten a fight with their lady and they're peeling off, you know what I'm saying? And you don't know that. You don't know that. So you just got to be careful. So you just roll around the little neighborhood that you have, give yourself some practice. Now, I'm going to show you something that I had trouble with when I first started, and a friend of mine gave me some pretty good advice. I had trouble making right-hand turns from complete stops because I would pull up to the stop and I would have to turn my handlebars, and I'm rolling on the throttle with my right hand and trying to counterbalance the bike as well as lean the bike, let off of the clutch at the same time. And it was just nerve-wracking to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, dude, like I would have trouble, I would stall a lot during the course, of course. During the motorcycle safety course, of course. Should I have said it better? Of course, during the motorcycle safety. Either way, man, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. So the friend of mine told me what I should do instead of pulling up straight before making a right-hand turn is to pull up in an angle so that you're faced that way already. And I was like, huh, that sounds like pretty fucking good advice, actually. You know, like, that sounds like a good idea. I could actually do that. So I started trying to do that, and it actually worked, you know. So if it's something that can work for you guys, then I suggest trying it. For instance, I'm gonna treat this corner like there is a stop sign, okay? That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna treat it like how I just said for you guys to do. So you pull up in the angle, right? and the angle, so you're already faced that direction. So when you go, you're kind of just going straight, and then you barely start to lean your bike into the rest of the turn. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that, but it is a beginner type of move, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Everybody has to start somewhere. Everybody's a beginner once. So you can do the same thing with left-hand turns. You can, you know, you can you know, so lane is here, lane is here. You can pull to the far side of the lane, to the right side of the lane, and you can actually angle yourself that direction and wait for that opening and then just go. You know what I mean? You can treat it the same exact way as you would the right hand turn, and you're pretty safe from there. You know, so it's just something to work on, you know, your little slow maneuvers, you know, neighborhood cruising, just chilling, you know what I mean, going nothing over 20, 25, you know, getting to know your bike, getting to know the feel for it, the weight of it, you know. Watch out for the gravel in the roads. Work on not going into the opposite lane, of course, you know, once you make those turns, because that was another problem of mine making the right hand turns. I was always afraid of turning too wide into that right hand turn and going into the oncoming lane, especially if there's cars coming. And that's why my friend told me, you know, just pull up to the stop sign at an angle so you're already facing that direction, and then you just continue through the turn. And it helped out a lot, you know. So if any of you guys have trouble with things like that, like I did, and you have a neighborhood in your area, then my advice is to take advantage of it and use it at your disposal so you can get your practice in before you jump out into the big streets, which is what we're about to do right now. You know, we've been making some turns, a little bit of turning advice. There's really not much else I could teach you in the neighborhoods besides just keep your eyes open, pay attention to everything around you, keep your head on the swivel, pull up to your stops, use your blinkers, use your mirrors, watch out for kids, watch out for things rolling in the middle of the road that kids might chase after, you know, everything like that. So right now we're gonna pull up to this red light and we're making a left. So for me, when I started out and I would get out into the streets like this, it was more nerve-wracking because cars are going every direction. People pull up the stoplights and pull out their phones, and people don't pay attention, you know, or they zone out at the stoplight. Moms are yelling at their kids, smacking the shit out of them, don't see that the light turned green and shit. People run red lights like a motherfucker. I know all of you guys know that. People love to run red lights. It was more nerve-wracking for me, so I could understand if it is for some of you guys. So we're gonna try and get rid of some of that today. So if you're still watching this video, you guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up, man. It helps out with the algorithm, it helps out with the videos, helps put my shit out there more often, you know. And if you guys really fuck with me, if you guys really fuck with me and enjoy my content, man, hit that subscribe button, you know what I mean, and let's keep this shit going. All right, so we're just waiting on this light. Time to go. Let's make this left-hand turn. Where I'm at right now, it's about 3:15, coming up on 3:30, so people are getting out of work, you know. So I have an open lane in front of me, so I'm gonna take it. I don't need to cut through cars in order to get to the front. In San Diego, in California, we have the lovely law of being able to lane split. So once you get comfortable with that, take advantage of it, man. Get in front of these cars, get through them and get in front, and that way you could take off. My advice though, you always need to plan an escape route. You know what I'm saying? So okay, say for instance I'm cutting through these cars like I'm about to do, okay? So just cruise through slow, nice and slow, nice and smooth. Rev a little bit so they know you're there. Don't jump directly in front of them. Do not jump directly in front of them, because they might see the green light before you do, and they might take off forgetting that you're actually there and then crash right into the back of you. You do not want that to happen. So stay in between the lanes, use your mirrors, make sure you can see both sides of the cars, and you're in a good spot where you can just dip the fuck out. And if they do take off, they're not going to hit you, okay? Which brings me into another awareness situation that you should develop when riding, is that you need to plan your escape routes. You need to position yourself in a direction or an area, facing that area, that you can take off at any given moment if you see a car pulling up behind you and they're not stopping. You know, I don't know if any of you guys have been rear-ended in a car, but I could only imagine being rear-ended on a motorcycle, because some asshole behind you was not paying attention, didn't realize that everybody stopped, and then smashes right into the back of you. I'm gonna give you an idea on what I mean knowing your escape routes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right here is I'm not gonna lane split. I'm gonna position myself behind this Elantra right here. Okay, so let's just say I'm right here and the car behind me that was pulling up was not stopping. I'm in a perfect position to where I can still go straight. I have enough distance in front of me to where I could pick up enough speed to get the fuck away from whatever car is gonna hit me, and I could still move over to the left a little bit. I can see directly in front of me. I can see the lane that's open in between the two lanes, and then I could dip when I need to. So say the car behind me isn't stopping, I'm just gonna fucking go. Be like, nope, hit them, not me. They got a cage, you know what I mean? They're safe. So fuck that. Again, pull in between. Don't pull up directly in front of them, unless they're parked like far behind, like that blue Honda right there, because you got plenty of space to park in front of them without being all the way inside of the intersecting lane. So for me, I needed to push myself out here in order for me to learn. I wasn't gonna just slowly transition, practice in the neighborhood for like 2 months or a month and get a feel for that, and then finally jump out onto a street or two. And no, man, I jumped out onto the freeway and the neighborhoods and the main roads and everything right away. That's just me. When you pull up the stops, you guys, always look in your mirrors. Always check your mirrors. In cars, in a motorcycle, always check your mirrors. Keep your eye on them from time to time. Me personally, when I pull up to stoplights, I try my hardest not to put myself in neutral, because sometimes the lights do take forever and you kind of want to let off the clutch, so you put it in neutral and you just kick back. But I try to keep it in first gear and my foot on my rear brake. So if I'm looking in my mirror and I see somebody pulling up behind me too fast, I can just go. I don't need to put my bike into first gear and then take off. I can just take off. You get what I'm saying? It's just it's a safety thing, you know. But then there are times where the light takes 2 to 3 fucking minutes and you don't want to be holding your clutch that long, so just pop it in neutral and kick it. These, see how this asshole just did and how this asshole kind of does? Be careful on these right here where people are turning when they're making left-hand turns, because people like to turn quick and they run over those lines, and if you're popping out just a little bit, you're gonna get smacked. Watch out for those too. Definitely watch out for those. We're gonna make a right-hand turn right here, and we're gonna treat it like I had said, like if I was new to riding. Okay, we're gonna face this way even though it's a green light. That way it's already positioned that direction, and then we can just go. So that's all it takes, you guys. Get out there and practice. Like I said, if you got a neighborhood, take advantage of it. Roll around for a little bit. Once you feel comfortable and you're good, then jump into the main roads. Cruise around a bit. Circle your neighborhood, circle where you live, you know, do a quick 2-mile run around where you stay. And be careful, you know, have fun, be careful. If you make mistakes, it's okay, we all do it, and learn from them, and then continue to stay up on 2 wheels. That way you can go home and live to ride another day. So that's all I got for you guys today on this one, man. Like I said, it's been cold lately. I don't know if I said that or not, but I haven't been recording, so I got out here today for y'all. So we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out, baby. Did you ride your motorcycle today?